Buongiorno, amici miei. Richard and I are going to Italy with some friends in the fall. Shout out to Tim and Debbie. And so I've been attempting to learn a little Italian because I think it's polite to at least attempt this when you visit a country. I don't plan on being fluent, but I will learn as much as I can before our trip. This experience of trying to learn a little Italian got me thinking about anticipating an event in your life. Consider this particular trip. Our dear friends made a proposal to travel to Italy with them. They are certified world travelers, so we were excited to tap into their knowledge and experience in this regard. And then we began to plan, exploring various agendas, considering all of the potential adventures we could take part in. Just that process blew me away with all of the options and possibilities that such a beautiful country and people offer a traveler. And then there were our Google Meets where we pondered all of these possibilities together. Even though Tim and Debbie live far from us, it was so fun to see them regularly, and this trip gave us an excuse to do so. So together we pored over potential agendas, dreaming about boat rides over the turquoise waters of Capri or mountain hikes to visit rural shepherds near the Amalfi Coast, observing them practicing their crafts of cheese making. I imagine us walking through the ancient ruins of Pompeii and taking part in a food tour in Naples featuring the local cuisine. The more I contemplate all of the details of our trips, the more excited I become. And it made me think about how much joy can come from the anticipation of an event in your life. In some cases, people think that the anticipatory joy of an event is potentially greater than the actual experience of the very things that we anticipate. Isn't that crazy? There's a physiological reason this occurs. Just thinking about the future activates the brain's reward system, dumping dopamine into our system. And who doesn't want a little dopamine, right? And while this Italian vacation is likely a once in a lifetime trip, the things that bring us this anticipatory joy do not have to be big things. Dr. Alex Lickman said that he learned that anticipatory pleasure was so important to his sense of well being that he now plans his life in a way that he almost always has something to look forward to. The things he mentioned may not seem significant to anyone else. For example, he said finishing an interesting blog post or working on a book, going to a movie or play with his wife, playing with his son, reading a good book, or getting errands completed. Lickman says, I've learned the activity needn't be large or significant or meaningful, just something I look forward to, even a little bit. I hadn't really considered how important this might be to an individual's well being, but my own calendar nearly always has an upcoming date with friends, or an interview with a soon to be friend, a community group gathering, or a trip to the lake, a visit to see my daughter in college. There's always something to look forward to and perhaps soften the edges of a day that might otherwise be full of doctor's appointments or paying bills or menial tasks, things that maybe I don't look forward to so much? So if your days seem to blend one into the next and you're feeling a little ho-hum about life, consider becoming more intentional about planning regular, enjoyable activities. And remember, it doesn't have to be expensive or something super unique, but something that you know you'll look forward to in the coming weeks and months. These are obviously specific to you. So for one person, a hike in a park may sound good. To another, it might be a coffee date or a shopping trip, anything that brings you joy. Dr. Janice Vilhauer even suggested creating an aspiration board where you can keep images and words referring to life events that you anticipate, arrange them on a board where you'll see them every day. I think that's a really cool idea. She also suggested keeping a gratitude journal, but with a future twist. We've talked about the importance of gratitude a lot, right? But in this instance, instead of just writing about what you're grateful for now, you include what you're looking forward to. So, for example, you might say, well, I'm grateful for seeing my grandchild today and excited about my brunch with friends next week. Focusing on these things that bring you joy can't help but lift your spirits and keep you positively anticipating all that life holds. I bet you all have some great ideas for increasing anticipatory joy in your life. So please share these ideas in the comments on the website or social media, and let's spread some joy. Now, next week, we have a doozer of an episode with Catherine May Enman. I know, I say this about every guest. I think I do. But friends, I have the privilege of meeting the most special people. And you know this because I hear this from you and you agree with me. I'll just say Catherine and I both ended up in tears. And if you know anyone, or perhaps this describes you, someone who is feeling hopeless right now, be sure to listen into Catherine's episode and just see how God will intervene in a dark or seemingly hopeless situation. Don't miss it. There's a little anticipatory joy for you right there. Looking forward to meeting Catherine next week. You will love it. Hey, I really appreciate those of you who have taken a minute to rate and review the podcast on iTunes and Spotify. That's where it happens. If you have a question about how to go about this, message me and we'll help you. It's super easy. I can't even explain why this is important because I'm such a tech dummy, but I can tell you it's working. That's all I know. By the way, shout out to the West Coast piano man who said, I've just started following, but I can tell I'll be a loyal fan. Great content in the perfect length for regular motivation. Welcome, piano man. I appreciate it. You're the best. We'll leave today with the words of Rabin Alameddin. Joy is the anticipation of joy. Arrivederci, amici miei.